guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video, and today, this isn't like a movie review, but I wanted to talk about the movie Casper from 1995, way back in the 1900s, back when I was just a little wee cherub. It may come as a surprise to some of you, but I was a baby once, you know, and I'm not proud of that, so don't go telling anybody. But it's true, I was once an infant, and back when I was an infant, I went to see Casper in the movie theater when I was like 3. But I went to see that movie in the movie theater. Obviously, I was too young to remember. My mom told me about it. She's got like these memories attached to Casper. This is more about my mom than me, this video. But she's got these memories to Casper and me when I was a child. And yeah, she's often told me about it. Like, she said that the first movie I ever went to see in the movie theater was Casper in 1995. Obviously, like I said, I don't remember, but I enjoy hearing the story, and I do have a lot of memories attached to Casper myself, because I loved it for years after that, and it got to a point where I like could form memories. I couldn't form memories when I was like 3, but I could when I was like later on, like 6, 7, maybe even 8. I think I always kind of had a thing for Casper when I was like a young child. And I had like bed sheets that were Casper. I had stickers on my wall that was Casper. I had like all Casper toys and everything. Like, a lot of things that I had when I was a kid was Casper stuff. Here's a little fun fact. If you've ever looked at my YouTube banner, like you go on my channel, look at my banner, and you wonder why I chose that design, it's because of Casper. And I've literally never talked about Casper on this channel before, but I feel like in a weird way, Casper was probably what got me into the whole ghosts and spooky stuff and things like that in general, which is kind of crazy to think about. My mom still has like a whole bunch of stuff that I had when I was a kid. Like, she kept my Casper toys, my sticker book, and things like that. So basically, this all started because I watched Wednesday recently, and I know I'm a little late to the game on that one. I just couldn't bring myself to watch it because I was like, nope, I know I like Jenna Ortega, but I can't accept it. I can't accept it. I grew up with the Addams Family, and Christina Ricci was always Wednesday Addams to me, and I'm not gonna watch it. I was kind of like being a little stubborn about it, but I do actually enjoy Wednesday, the series. I've actually been really enjoying it. But it did kind of prompt the thought to me, like, I was like, wow, it's been so long since I've seen the actual Addams Family movie from the 90s, and I watched it, and I really enjoyed it, and then I decided the following night I would watch Addams Family Values, which I had never seen that one before, at least that I can't remember. I didn't know there was a second one, and I enjoyed it. It was nostalgic. It just kind of had that like Hocus Pocus, like Casper, those 90s movies. It had that same kind of vibe to it, and it was just nice. And then it just made me think, because obviously Christina Ricci was in it as Wednesday Addams, it made me think of Casper, because she was literally my first crush when I was a kid. The first girl, like, when I think back to who was the first girl that I genuinely had a crush on when I was like a kid, like a celebrity crush, and it was Christina Ricci, and only in Casper, not really Wednesday Addams, but when she was in Casper, I had like a big crush on her. So I decided for the next night, I was like, you know what, I haven't seen Casper in way over a decade, so I'm gonna watch it. And I did. I watched it last night, and honestly, it all just came back to me. It was beautiful, it was nice, it was nostalgic, it was funny, it was goofy and silly, and it was just like how I remembered. I think it felt more meaningful to me now that I'm older and I can actually understand it more, and I did get a little emotional in some scenes, especially the end scene when like Casper gets to become a human. Like, it's his wish, I guess. He got a wish granted by Kat's mom, who's dead, because he did something noble. He gave his one chance to have life to her dad instead of for himself. And so because he did that, he got granted a wish. He got to have like one night where he could like be alive and, you know, dance with her and stuff like that at this party. But what really, like, now that I'm an adult and I watch it, it hits so much more deeper than it did when I was a kid. Like, when you're a kid and you watch it, you're just thinking like, oh, it's ghosts, kind of spooky, you know, that kind of thing, like a Halloween movie. But this was so much more deeper than I remember it being, especially because like Kat's mom is dead. Her dad is like spent his whole life searching for answers and trying to communicate with Kat's mom with like the ghosts and stuff, and that's how he becomes like a ghost hunter. And he also gets to see his wife. He gets to see Kat's mom like at the end of the movie, and it's such a beautiful thing. And it's like he's talking about how he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's like saying like, you know, I don't know what I'm doing as a dad, and she's like comforting him and like reassuring him he's doing a great job raising her alone. And it was so much more fucking deeper and sad than I remembered it being. But there was something that came to mind. The reason this video is happening at all, there was something that like popped back into my head a few years ago. I remember having this conversation with my mom And we were like randomly, for whatever reason, talking about funeral songs, and I was like, if I were to die, just suddenly die randomly, what would you choose for my funeral song? And I thought, of course, like, she's gonna choose something stupid and be like, I don't know, Baby Shark or something like that. But I was like, really think about it though. Like, actually, I'm curious. So like, if I were to die, what would you, because it would all be on you to arrange my funeral and like decide this kind of stuff. So what would you choose for me? Like, I genuinely don't know what my mom, like what kind of songs remind my mom of me. I was thinking like Stand By Me, because she knew I loved that movie when I was a kid. And I knew that song kind of reminded her of me. And the same with like Country Roads Take Me Home, John Denver. That's more like my sister thinks of me when she hears that one. So I was like, okay, it's got to be one of those two. But Jesus Christ himself couldn't have prepared me for the fucking emotional damage that my mom did to me when she messaged me. She was like, I'm gonna have to think about it. And I thought, you know, she's probably gonna like forget about it. Like, I didn't think because I was like saying to her, you know, I want you to take this seriously and tell me what kind of funeral song you would choose for me. She said, I'll get back to you, and she did. A couple of days later, she texts back. I wasn't expecting a reply because usually my mom like forgets everything. She texts back and she said, One Last Wish from Casper. And I thought I knew exactly which song it was, because there's like one very iconic. There's a lot of soundtracks in Casper, but there's like one that really is like emotional and very heartfelt and heavy, and like it's kind of like got this like longing sound to it. It's a piano tune, and I was like, okay, I think I might know which one she's talking about here. Listen to it. I was right. It is such a sad song. Like, it's sad, but it's beautiful. It's like very haunting, I guess, which is ironic because, you know, ghosts and me being dead in the story. But I remember, like, and I never told her this, but when I listened to it after that, and I was like thinking about it, and I was thinking about like, because sometimes I get really hard on myself, and I feel like I'm lonely. I feel like I'm alone, and I have nobody who really cares about me, and, you know, kind of things like that. You have these voices in your head that kind of constantly tell you this stuff, and you just got to try and ignore them, and remind yourself that, you know, you are loved, you are cared about, and things like that. To have my mom say that to me kind of solidified for me that this is like, she hears that song and it reminds her of me. And I don't know what it was, but something inside me just kind of like broke my heart when I heard that, because it made me, like, that song always was kind of sad when you watch the movie. It was a beautiful, sad song, but watching it this time and like hearing that song and just knowing what it means to my mom, and just the, like, so when I listened to it the time when she told me that, just to make sure I knew which song it was, it literally made me like cry, because all I could picture was a world in which I'm no longer here and my mom is grieving, and this is the song she would have chose. And that fucked me up, because it made it feel so real for me. Like, we all have songs that remind us of other people. Most of the time we never tell those other people that the song reminds us of them, but we all have songs that remind us of other people. But like, have you ever realized we don't ever think that somebody listens to a song and thinks about us? Like, you never think of it that way. You think like, oh, I'm listening to the song and it reminds me of this person, but you never think of it the other way around. Like, you never think that somebody is listening to a song right now and thinking of you. Like, you matter to somebody else so much, even if it's just your mom. Like, you matter so much to somebody else. And that's what, like, kind of weird realization I had when I heard that from her. Made me realize, like, she is a human being whose life matters, and like, she has her own feelings and her own worries and insecurities and, you know, all of these things. And she listens to that song and it reminds her of me. Out of everybody in the world, I'm the person that pops into her head. It shows like I was loved as a child, I was valued as a child. The memories of me and Casper and all of that stuff really, really matter to her. That just kind of broke my heart. I don't know what it was, but it made me feel shit. It made me feel selfish. It made me feel like, you know, there's me being like, oh, I've got the worst life ever, when I'm actually important to somebody. And I just never really saw it before. At least not in that way. Like, I'd never really been like, it just kind of hit me differently. I don't know. It was kind of crazy. But like, I'm not saying I encourage you guys to go and ask your parents, like, what song would you choose for your funeral? But it was definitely eye-opening to me. But yeah, when I was watching Casper the other night, it just reminded me of that. And I was like, I got emotional watching the movie last night. Especially on when that song was playing, and I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a video about this, because this is something that like really kind of, just my mom saying that song, it didn't feel like, you know, just a curiosity, like, what kind of song would you choose for my funeral? And then she tells me and I go, oh, cool, or whatever. This like hit me, and I never told her, but I'm telling you guys, But yeah, it was just kind of a crazy thing. And like, I kind of forgot about it. Not like forgot, but I wasn't thinking about it when I was going into Casper last night. But as soon as that song started playing, the memory came back to me of what my mom said, and I got emotional. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit and let you know that you guys are loved. There is somebody out there who listens to a song and thinks of you.